any noise in the background. My preference when I record podcasts is to have everyone outside of the house, but of course with Corona, I think I've recorded only one podcast this year. I don't know. At least since we've moved to Louisiana, for sure, only one podcast because I cannot get any time alone. But I'm trying to work with it, so our bedroom's in the back of the house, so I'm locked back here and warned everyone to stay away from my bedroom door and that their dad's home and they can ask him for things, not just me. But yeah, so anyone that's new, my name's Juanita and I am the maker behind Woolly Bean. I knit for myself and I make bags for you guys. Well, for myself too, but mostly for you guys. And this is just a podcast where I share my makes and what's kind of going on day-to-day lives, but I'm bad about, I never know. I do know the date is January 1st, 2021, but I do not know the last time. I don't know what episode this is, but it'll be on the title. So welcome, and then welcome back to all the ones who follow along regularly. It's good to have you. I hope you're wearing comfy clothes and you got some knitting or some tea. I should have grabbed tea, but I have my morning smoothie with me. I am wearing comfy clothes. I got slippers on, leggings, got a sweatshirt, but then I was still cold, so I put a sweater on. But anyways, I have a few things to show you. I've been doing a little knitting and it's definitely been different. So for anyone that doesn't know, I used to live in Arkansas. In April, we moved down here. And we lived in northern Arkansas where we didn't get a ton of snow, but definitely had winter. And here there is no winter. It basically feels like fall all the time. I'm still always cold, but I prefer I get seasonal depression really easy. I battle anxiety, and the weather down here has helped quite a bit. Like, it's really nice to just be able to get outside still, no matter, like, the last couple days I've been able to go out and jog, and it's been chilly in the morning to me, but definitely not like it is what it would be in Arkansas where I'd be bundled up to here. So, but we moved, and like always back home when it would start to get cooler and darker, I'd get like suddenly this, I don't know, not a weight, but a feeling like, oh man, like why was I not knitting this list of stuff all year long? Like the kids need new mittens and so needs a hat and that kind of thing. Or suddenly I'd feel like I'm looking for this specific type of cardigan, or I want this hole in my wardrobe filled with this knit item. And there definitely has been a difference of being here where I don't have that pressure. They don't, like, I have hats from last year for them. They haven't used them. We don't need mittens. Basically they just need like a good cardigan each. Like, that's it. We haven't even pulled out winter coats. It's typically here in the 60s during the day. It's been up in the 70s lately, but so a definite impact on my knitting, because then I've been able to kind of just knit what I want to, what I feel like. Though I do miss wearing all the knits, because one of my finished objects, or my only finished object, but my finished object for today that I was going to share, I haven't even worn. I finished it, I don't know, a couple months ago, and the ends aren't even woven in, because normally I would have woven them in quickly because I wanted to wear it, and that hasn't even come up. So it's definitely not warm enough to, I just also don't want to mess it up because it's so pretty. And if it was cold enough, I'd be like, oh my gosh, let me put this on, but it's not cold enough. So let me take a sip of smoothie, and then let's get into showing you some of my knits. So let's do finished object, because I got the one, and you'll have seen it on my Instagram because I was very proud of it. It was, I laughed when I showed, I don't know, it was on a picture of it or something, but someone said like, yes, they were familiar with the sweater because it's been on my profile picture so much and I've been sharing like it because it's taken me like 2 years to finish. Not because of the pattern, nothing to do with pattern, just anxiety, basically, life getting in the way. But I enjoyed every single minute of this knit. So it's the Tecumseh sweater by Caitlin Hunter, or by Boyland Knitworks, I think. Anyways, I'll put it up. But finally finished mine. And I made the small. I used knit picks for the main body. I used knit picks for all of it, but for the main body I used Swish, the bear, the undyed, and I think I bought however many skeins. I feel like I bought 3 skeins and only used 2 or something. I ended up with leftover yarn. And then the contrast colors, I've used their cashmere merino blend, Capra, because it's all DK. So I used Capra. And then when I bought this, I thought it was going to be more like a gold color, but it turned out to be like a heathered orange. I don't think I have any of it with me. But I love it. Like, I love it. And there is one big mistake in it, but I'm the only one that knows what it is. And, well, a friend knows what it is because I complained to her about my mess up. But I could go back and fix it if I want. Well, I'll tell you. I'll just tell you because it doesn't matter. It's not like you're going to see me wearing it because I haven't even worn it. But what I did is on these little plus signs, you do 2 rows, right, in the middle section. Well, no, on this you're supposed to do 3. 1, 2, 3, yeah, on here, if you can see, it's supposed to do 3. On this one, I only did 2. So they are slightly, just straight in the middle. That section is slightly not as plump as these, but you know, it's not like, I mean, to me these stand out more, and I love this. Like, I think they're so pretty. I wanted high contrast with that, and like in her picture on the pattern, like these are similar to the colors that she uses on there, and I just love them from the get-go. You'll see if you look up the hashtag for it on Instagram or just on Ravelry, look at the project. There's like so many color combinations you can do, but I wanted something. I don't use a ton of color in my knitting. Like, I mean, I gravitate towards neutrals, but I just like the boldness of the pattern itself with those colors. And then it is kind of is it called a dolman sleeve? Is that what it is? And I ended up going, I'll put it on and then I'll show you what it looks like on. But they are a shorter sleeve, but I love the length of it, and I'm fairly certain that I just followed it to the T as far as measurements, like how long to make the sleeves and everything. If not, I have yarn left over, like I said, and I could always go back and make the sleeves. Sorry, little hiccups. My hiccups, burps. I don't know. Anyways, so soft. I'm curious to see, like, even just with knitting it, it gets a little, I mean, it's very, there's like a halo to it. Curious, it doesn't really pill or like shed or anything, but a little bit of like pills coming up just from whatever. But one thing, I mean, I'm wearing leggings and it'd probably be fine just to wear leggings, but in my mind, what I pictured, I was like put outfits together, like with my knits. I don't just knit something to knit it. I knit it because I want it to fill a space. Like I want like a comfy sweater for around the house that just has a certain drape and feel and warmth and hug to it. And I want socks that feel a certain way. And I've learned like to try to gravitate my knitting towards that and not just like, oh, that's pretty, let's do that one. And because then I don't wear it. So what was I saying about that? Oh, I pictured this. It's like a high-waisted jean. Or like, anyways, it doesn't matter. But I don't know wear jeans. This year I've sworn off of jeans. I've gained, so last year because of my anxiety, but then also because I started to eat, to help with my anxiety, I started to eat like really clean. And like any excess weight just dropped off. I had gained all that back. I'm starting to lose a little bit like now, like I've had to start, I'm starting to like jog again a little bit, and I've really been watching what I eat because I've learned, I kind of got lazy this year and was eating gluten again, and my anxiety started coming back, and I think, I don't have celiac, but definitely affects my gut. And my gut, if it is not happy, then the gut-brain connection is real. Anyways, I will put this on in a minute and show you what it looks like, even with the ends not woven in. That's another reason why I just haven't. There's a lot of ends to weave in. But highly recommend the pattern. Yeah, I love it. It is my favorite thing I've ever made, even though I've never worn it yet. So that is my one FO, and I'll change into it so you can see it. So I did make modifications to the neckline. I do not remember what, because again, that was a while ago. I had started the sweater, got to a point, and then tried it on, and I did not like where it, I feel like it was too big or too tight. I don't know, but I love this. I put all the notes in my Ravelry, but I'd seen someone else talk about modifications they made. I think it was several people to the neckline. And so I did that because that's something I would not, I can't figure out on my own. So here's the sleeve. Let me move my stool. When I stand up, you still can't see. When I stand up, there's a wall here, so I can't go back farther. But when I stand up, it hits wrist length, like it's perfect. But when you go to like do anything, which I kind of really like, because like if I'm sewing or if I was washing dishes, you know, it's gonna scoot up just enough. But then, I don't know. But look at that. I might wear it for the rest of should I just wear it for the rest of the podcast? Maybe. And then, let me kneel on my stool. Maybe that'll help. I want to show you length. So, it's like mid-tushy. So, it's like such a good length. Cozy. And, man, maybe I could wear it because I just had 2 sweaters on. And then this is, even though, I mean, it's wool, obviously, but cashmere merino, but it's not heavy. I like a heavy knit sometimes, but yeah, let's just wear it for the rest of the time, okay? I feel like I should have been wearing this the whole time. It's okay. I got it on now. I don't want to re-record. Okay, so let's move on to works in progress. Okay, so I have like a bunch of works in progress because I like start something and then I'm like, no, it's just not, it's not doing it for me. So we'll just go through them one at a time. I wanted to use up some of I have so much like stash yarn that's nothing that I would pull from to like knit. Like it's not, I say not knit worthy. It's not like something I'd make into a garment. Like I've gotten really into like, I want to knit a cardigan. I want to knit. I don't have, and I don't have a lot of sock yarn because I only just really got, ooh, look at that. I just really kind of got into knitting socks. So I have this little bag. I just did something else I just did. I ordered a bunch of these little snips, which they kind of scare me a little bit because I'm scared of blood. I faint with blood. I have since I was a teen. But I'm just like, I'm gonna get, I mean, I don't know if I were even that sharp. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I bought a bunch of these on Amazon. Like they had like a set of 3 or 4 for $10. And so I got them. And then because they came in different colors, like I like tried to match them to the bag. But I feel like I want like a little sheath protection. So I'm going to make snip covers because there's a pocket. This bag, okay, before we get to the project, let me just tell you. So I have gone back. So this is like my original bag. Like one of, it's not the first one I made, but it's like one of my original ones. And it's a little bit smaller than my size I make now. Like it's a little shorter. I used to use the older zippers, just like the plastic zippers. And I mean, it's still cute. It's okay. But I used muslin on the interior, so it's very, I mean, this is what I use to store all my needles and like I just keep all my little needles in their things and they go in here. What was I saying? Oh, so that's my point. Oh, it's like the structure is not good. Like without anything in it, the bag falls over. I like a bag that kind of acts like a bin that will hold, like there's been a process in bag design, okay? So that started with that. Well, I had like a bad batch of canvas one time because I changed to using like a heavy canvas on the interior. I had a bad batch of canvas and it had like a smell and I did not want to use it. And I had all these orders and all I could get my hands on was like, I think it's called like brushed denim. It's when we lived in Arkansas and there's just like one Hobby Lobby. And all they had was a brushed, I don't know, it's like a lighter weight. It's this. Anyways, I used it in a series of bags for a little while and it's fine, like, but you have to have the pockets. Like you have to have the pockets for structure. Like that's the only thing that gives the bag structure. And then the top half kind of, you don't have it full of anything. Again, I don't, and for the people that I make the bags for, I know for some of this, they don't care. Like it's nothing. It's just on my end. What I go through is like, what do I want in a bag when I'm working with it? I like for it to feel like high quality. I want it to be something that I feel like is going to last. So this one has been, even though this isn't my favorite print, I mean, I love it. I do. That's why I picked it for myself. But I have other newer prints where I'm like, ooh, but I always grab this bag and put my most recent project in it just because it has all the things that I like the best. Like it has pockets all the way around. It's got the better, heavier canvas and better structure. Anyways, I took this bag. I was like, you know what? I don't need all the pockets all the time because I always have like some kind of like this that I use to put my stitch markers in. I always make other little notions bags. And so maybe I'll just have a project bag without pockets. They're super fast to make without the pockets. And then I'm not doing as much work on myself. And then I'll just use a notion pouch and throw it in. But the bag had no structure and was just droopy. And I just didn't, like, I pick it up and it just was like, ugh. So I just, a couple days ago, I took my bag, took it inside out, ripped out the seams, and added pockets just on one side because it gives it just enough structure. And I made one of the pockets fit my little scissors. So that made me happy. You just sit right in there, and then this one has a chapstick in it. And then I have a little notions pouch in there with my stitch markers, which I'll be bringing these back to the shop soon. I don't know, I got frustrated with snaps. Like I changed to a different style of a snap instead of the cam snaps, and it doesn't matter. They're gonna come back, I promise, because I know different ones, like the little simple stitch marker holder. Anyways, so this project, oh, I should have brought my iPad. Let me go find it because I want to be able to tell you what the name of the pattern is. Okay. Yes. Okay. I was like, is it recording? Because I just paused it. All right. So this one is Nila the Unicorn. It says a Yarnigan's Fantasy Forest pattern by Rachel Borello Carroll, I think. But that. And then all I've gotten done is a silly little head. My daughter, my youngest, really wanted it. And so I had this Ash Rose Cascade 220. It was from a sweater I made a while ago. I had made it in an anchor sweater for a client, actually. And I had one skein left over. And so I used that. I was pairing it just with some Barocco modern cotton. And that was gonna be my unicorn. And then my daughter picked out we found some like sparkly rainbow. I think I made an ear. Where did the ear go? My daughter found a sparkly rainbow yarn at Hobby Lobby that we'll use to make the hair. That's one ear. But I think the pattern says size 4. No, US size 6. And so that's what I used. And then, actually they use Cascade 220 also. So worsted weight, which I think this is worsted. It's hard when you're working from your stash, but anyways. Yeah. My problem is that lately when I knit, there's so much going on in the room. Like the kids are watching a show and then they're asking for snacks, and it's like these constant, so I'm like keep having to put my knitting down and then get up and do something, and I can't just sit and be in the moment and be focused on what I'm doing. So I very easily forget what next step I'm at. Or then in the evenings when they are in bed, and then I think, like I want to watch just a show, and my husband works a lot of evenings, and so I'll go in my room and I want to light a candle and make myself some tea, and then I take my bath, and then after my bath I'm all cozy and like ready for bed, but it's still early. It's like 8:30. Kids go to bed at 8, and I'm gonna sit and knit and watch TV, but I cannot, like I'm so relaxed, but I cannot remember where I left off in my pattern. Like I'll make a note. I don't know. I feel like some of it's like I'm having some brain fog lately too. So anyways, that's why I haven't gotten any farther, but I'm gonna make a unicorn for one daughter. I have a son and 2 girls. He's almost 8, the middle one is 6, and the youngest girl is 4, almost 5. Well, this year, like in 2 months, she'll be 5. So the 5-year-old, this is for the 5-year-old, and then the 6-year-old now wants one also, but I don't want to knit another one already. I'm like only this far, and I'm like, I just want something relaxing. I thought it would be fast, and maybe it is if I would actually stick with it. So anyways, that's Nila the Unicorn. So that's my 1FO. One that I'm really enjoying, but I was having the problem with, all my projects are size 6 needles, and that's part of the problem, is because I need to order like a couple more, because sometimes I like to work, I'll be in the mood to sit and work on one. Like these are size 6, that's size 6, and then the anchor summer shirt that I was working on, which I'm not going to even show you because I haven't made any progress. Now that summer's over, I'm Like I don't have the pull to finish it right now, but I would, like a couple times I've wanted to pick it up, but then I'm like, where are my 6s at? And I spent, I think like 30 minutes one evening just looking, and then I realized they were on one project that I didn't really want to take them off because I was working on, but anyways. Okay, so the second project is the Otter Fairy cardigan by Rainer and Bear. She designs these, her and her mother, they designed the sweetest kind of vintage classic designs for children. And like she's got, oh my gosh, like I wish my kids were younger so I could make some of those things. But like these, she is based in the UK. I would say that wrong. I don't know if it's like Europe or UK. I get confused. But so I'm gonna say some of the words wrong. But it's like a little overall, like a knitted overall outfit, one piece kind of thing. It's got some like rompers, the sweetest little cowl, different little bonnets or hats, and then my favorite thing, because I don't have babies or little tiny kids to put them in. Some of those other things, like, I mean, they could wear the cowl and hats, obviously, but this cardigan, like, first she only had it in, like, toddler size, and then she did a bigger size for 4 to 6 year olds, and I think she also has it up even larger than that now, but she had, like, test spots opening up, and I got all excited, and offered to test knit, and then I didn't get it done, which that has happened twice now, and it makes me feel guilty. Like I should never test knit again. But occasionally something comes up, and I'm like, you know what? This is perfect. Like I can do this. Like the time frame, but part of it, we got Corona, so that. Anyways, here it is. Let's see. I ordered. This is from Knit Picks, and it's their Dishy, and it comes. They have it in a skein. Or they had these cones, and so the cones were only like $13, and it has like over 700 yards on it, and it's worsted weight, and the kids are outside. I think you might be able to hear them. I hope they're not too loud. But I got 3 cones because I wanted to knit 2 sweaters. Well, because I thought, oh, I'll knit the same sweater for both of the girls, but again, it's not. I'm getting through this one, and I don't know. But this is the back panel, and it's the fisherman's, I think it's called fisherman's rib. But it is the squishiest, softest thing. So this is cotton, of course. The Knit Picks Dishy is cotton. And it's one that I've like kind of always just used for, oh man, I scared myself. I thought I saw a bug in my bag. What was I saying? I always had used Dishy just for like washcloths, and for down here I thought it would be really nice, like instead of a wool sweater, like she really just needs cotton. And anyways, it worked out to be like an affordable option. I'm loving how it's knitting up, and so that's the back panel. No, that's the wrong side, which is just as cute. And then here is a sleeve. So let's see. That's a sleeve. And it looks like it might be a little bit big. No, because that's the armpit. There's the sleeve. And so I have a store-bought sweater that's similar to this style. And so that's why my daughter, like I saw the pattern and wanted to knit it anyways, but she's like, I want to be just like you. And she's very excited. So this will be my first sweater I have to seam, but so there's a sleeve, and then I'm just starting on the, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. I just started on the second sleeve. I had started on the front left panel, and then I kept getting, like I get up to the point where I have to decrease, and then I could not, like, I don't know. It was, again, just, I'd lose count on stitches. I have found like patterns that are not, you know, there's different style of pattern writing. And so like Andrea Mowry, her patterns are really easy for me to follow. But sometimes if it's a designer that's like European based or something, it's like I don't know, almost like the layout's different. Like some of it's more, intuitive. I don't know what it is, but it's like I have to think a little bit more. I'm like, oh, okay. So there's like this one part in it where she says, like, because you're going back and forth row 1 and 2, or your pattern repeats between these 2 rows, and then you're following like what from when you saw and you're at such and such a row, but then she tells you something different, like, okay, you're starting here and it's row, I don't know. It just involved a little bit more thinking than what I was able to do at the moment. So I was like, frogged that left portion. I'm like, I'm gonna knit a sleeve. I did a sleeve before, I can do a sleeve again, and we'll go from there. So, but I keep wanting to knit in the evenings. Like I want to have my hands busy. So, I'm getting a tickle from the yarn and stuff. But it's so cute, isn't it? It's so squishy. So that's that one. And then I have 2 more. A friend of mine, let's see, what's her? Young Folk Knits. Casey from Young Folk Knits. She has been knitting. She loves knitting shawls. And she recently knit the Baubles shawl by Andrea Mowry. And the pattern itself, like looking at it, especially like the colors used, it's nothing that there's a lot of patterns like that where if I see it in certain colors or something, it's not one like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to knit that. Like this sweater I saw in these colors and I wanted to knit it. But her version of the Baubles shawl, she just finished her, I'm gonna say it wrong, Vertices Unite? Can't remember, but that one's by Stephen West, I think. Again, not a pattern I would have ever knit or like but seeing her color choices, and then there was like another one where it's like all really muted. Oh my gosh. Casey definitely has a color palette that she, sticks with, and it's so pretty. I mean, it's gorgeous. Anyways, so I had bought, well, no, actually, I was able to do, I reached out to House of Wool, and I asked her if she would be, like, if it's like, I'm a bag maker, and here's what I can make. I was like, I really love your yarn, but probably we've been saving, we're going to be moving away from Louisiana. Like, it's not for us here. I love the weather. I would love to stay in something like this, but the hurricanes, you guys, I don't want to speak ill of Louisiana itself, because maybe some people are from there, and I think especially if you've lived here your whole life, like, you love it here. Like, this is home. Amazing culture. Like, I haven't even got to have that much food down here, and it's not my style of food, but I really love that, like, with Cajun, they have their music, like a specific type of music that is just for here, they have their music, they have foods that they love, they have slang, like sha is like baby, and so like shashan is like you're babying someone. They have these French words that they use. Like, I think that's beautiful. I think it's so beautiful. It makes me feel a little bit like the Spanish culture, because Spanish, they have their, I'm Mexican Canadian. My dad is from Mexico. My mom's from Canada. My mom is Swedish German descent. And then my dad, we found out through a genetic test, like, there's a million things. My map where it showed where I was from is like most of the world, which was kind of funny, except for not Australia, and then not like a little bit of like not Russia. I don't know, it's funny, but everywhere else was lit up on the map. Anyways, when I was really young, I was raised around the Spanish culture. My mom was, my parents were together, and the people my mom were around, like who she worked with, like that's the food we ate, the music we listened, like that's what I just remember hearing, the kids I played with, like, but then I grew up away from that. But so now there's like this familiarity to people that just have this culture. And in Arkansas, it's like everyone lives from, it's like just a bunch of white people. It really is. And they just, a lot of them are older and they moved in from everywhere else. And there's a lot of wonderful people, but there's no spice. So that I will miss about Louisiana. That is one thing I really like about down here. Anyways, I was talking about this yarn, but I can't remember why. I mean, I remember why I was talking about the yarn, but why did I get off on that tangent? I don't know. I was saying I reached out to her to see. I tried to think about it for a minute. I paused. I can't remember. So anyways, I reached out to Tori. I think that's her name. I can't remember. And I'm doubting myself on things, but I reached out to her to see if she'd want to do a trade. And I always get nervous when I ask. Like, it doesn't hurt to ask, right? But anything, if I ask another maker, like, I don't want to bother them. I don't know if they're overwhelmed already with the balance of work life and homeschool and being a mom and, you know, running a small business or trying to just get by. And so I don't want to add anything. And I try to, you know, just be like, hey, it's an idea. Totally fine to say no. Just wanted to offer. But anyways, traded bags for yarn. And she let me pick out the colors. And so I already wound one up. But I got 2 skeins. Hanks? I guess they're Hanks. This one is called Morel. And it is her classic sock, 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. And it's 100 grams and 437 yards. So beautiful. I love her, like, just simple, modern logo. And she takes the prettiest pictures. I love that they go hiking all the time and get outside. Like, that's what I am looking forward to. Like, we're probably moving back just to Arkansas, and I'm looking forward to being able to go hiking and stuff again. But so I didn't know quite. I know I wanted an Nila shawl because I'm like, again, I bought neutrals because I just love them. I love that these were tonal. It's nothing that I had. I say that I have yarn like this in my stash, but it's in like a light fingering alpaca, and I didn't have enough to do anything with. So anyways, I saw Casey's Bauble shawl, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I will use these for my bauble if I do the bauble, and I pulled stuff from my stash, and I did a couple different combos and sent pictures to Casey. She's a friend, like, I know in real life. She's from Arkansas, and we kind of were raised in the same area, and anyway, so I felt comfortable being like, hey, tell me what you think about these collar combos. So this is leftover capretta. It's called, the color is caviar, and it's from Knit Picks. So 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And then this, I don't remember what it is. I think it's, smelling tells me things. It doesn't. I don't know why. I think it was something weird. Like alpaca and cotton, or like a lot of cotton and merino. It's on my Ravelry, because I think I put this in my stash info. But anyways, it's this beautiful golden color. So I thought I will use, because you have to have 3 colors. So these are my new yarns. And so I've got these. These are like my main color for the neutral. I have 3 skeins. And then I think I have two. Yeah, I have two of this caviar, and then I think I have two of these. So those are going to be the colors. And all I have so far is this. But at this point, so the pattern, did I say Baubles by Andrea Mowry? Fairly easy. Like I've got my like the repeats like marked with little stitch markers so I can. Do you guys have a preference? I just like those little light bulby ones. I'm not a fancy stitch marker person. I say that, but sometimes I see them, I'm like, ooh, but I just like my simple stuff. Anyways, yeah, like I think that's okay, right? Like that is this with the gold. The only thing is like, then I start to question, do you do this with projects? I'm like, this is so beautiful. I feel like yarn itself is the most beautiful when it's just in a skein. Like occasionally it's more beautiful. Like if it's like this cream is just as pretty knit up as it was in the skein. That's fine. Except for the skein itself is pretty because it just twisted like that. Like it's just so pretty. But sometimes with the tonals or like the yarns that are like all speckledy or like tons of colors, I don't ever buy those. I don't. I just think they're not as pretty knit up, which you can disagree completely. That's fine. But just for me, I'm like, I just feel like I'd want to keep it in its skein. Like when I see them and they're like all those colors, I'm like, that's pretty, but then I would not want to knit it. But so for this, I'm like, it's so pretty like this. Like I want this happening. Like maybe if I knit this like in something cabled, a cowl. But then my thought was, I have knit two scarves or shawls. One I ended up frogging because I wanted it to be different squishiness and I needed it to be bigger. My other one is my Hollows by Melody Hoffman, but I want it's just light gray. It's like made it from this, but it's called like dolphin or something, porpoise, I don't know, but it's like this color. So I thought, would it be weird, like all I have is these, if I wear so many neutrals and then I just have another neutral, like maybe it would be good to have something that's, you know, got some stuff on it. So we'll see. I'm questioning myself so much in it that I feel like I'm holding off, but I'll try to insert a picture of Casey's Baubles shawl because I want you to see how pretty it is and why I like the colors. I'm just thinking of that texture and the richness of the colors, like how it could be really beautiful. But then I'm like, but this would be pretty just. But the thing is, I could get more of this yarn, right? Just get more yarn. The decisions. Anyways, that. Nope, I have one more. I have one more for the podcast. Okay. So that's my shawl. It's on hold for a minute because I can't. Like, I don't know how Casey has been cranking those things out. She has as many kids as I do. 3. She has one that's younger than mine. And I don't know how she does it. This did not sell in the last shop update, so I took it. There's still more in there. There's, I think, 2 more in there, but I will not have any more of this print. So I thought, well, if I like it, I better take it now. So anyways, because it's so sad. That's something I don't like about, I mean, it makes sense. You can't forever print or make a certain one type of fabric, but like if it's a good one, can't you? Like I used to get this print at Hobby Lobby, and I found out now you could have gotten it online too, but I found out the designer and stuff. But I used to go to Hobby Lobby and just buy yards of it, and then like this was like one of my big like bag prints that got really famous, but I always sold out. Like lots of people that bought my bags, lots of people have this print, and it's just beautiful. I love it. But I have enough to make 2 more of these, and then I think I have enough to make 2 large project bags, and then it's gone, and you can't buy it anywhere. Like I've looked everywhere, and you cannot buy it. So part of that like makes me sad because it was one of my first like really popular prints. Anyways, so I took it because I needed a sock project bag. I had taken my other sock project bag and turned it into a holder for my masks for the van. So in it is my latest cast on, and it's just some socks. I wanted that's something I was thinking. I was like, down here you can still knit socks because my feet are always cold. Like I have socks on and big slippers. The floor is cold. Like, I don't know, my feet just stay cold. So no matter where you live, I feel like, unless you have hot feet like my husband, like knit socks are still a great project to be working on. And so I had shared my stories on Instagram. Someone had reached out and asked about sock patterns for, like, it's a friend who was like, do you have a pattern that you would recommend for beginners? Well, when I knit things, I go again by like, oh, I want to knit that. I don't think about skill level, and then I just jump into it. And then when I get to a part that I have no idea what to do, I YouTube and I'll work through it. And it takes me a while. It might be a project that, but it's fine. Socks I've had the most question because there's just so many like toe up, or heel, what's it called? Top down or toe up. There's different cast-ons. There's like most people seem to like or do fingering weight. This is fingering weight doubled. Oh, I should say the pattern. This one is the Fix Giving sock by Summerly Knits. I just recently discovered her account on there. She's an incredible sock designer, very colorful. That's probably the one area where I could see myself wearing, not neons, but I love, it excites me to play with color, and I do like striped socks, and like I could see like a neon pink like popped with this like on the toe. That would be fun. Anyway, so this is Stroll Tweed by Knit Picks, and so it's got the little flicks. I don't remember the color of the yarn, but I just cast this on 2 nights ago, and I've decided, even though I was like, I'm gonna do a sock where I want a project where I don't have to think with this. It's ribbed, it's very easy. But I just had made, oh, those were FOs I didn't get to share. I made 3 knit hats for my brother and his kids, and I just did like the classic ribbed cuffed hat. And so it was a lot of ribbing, but it was really nice to have projects that I didn't have to think about and I could just work on. But here I am doing ribbing again because I was like, I'm not going to do ribbing for a while, but I did. It's very squishy and thick, and I love it because I don't have a lot of knit socks finished yet. I don't go anywhere. And like around here, I'm not going to wear a wool sock in a shoe. Like I'll wear like, I don't know. Like if I'm going to wear my wool sock, I'm going to wear it with some boots. Not in this climate, but if I am wearing it out, it's going to be a boot, which I always have to buy because I have wide feet, a bigger boot. So I like a thicker sock. So I was like gravitated toward this, but I grabbed another of her patterns. She's like a shorties set, and there's like one that even has like arch support. I was like, oh, that's fancy. So I'm going to try that sometime soon. But I love the interaction, like hearing all your guys' recommendations for beginner sock patterns. I shared them all in my stories. I saved them in my highlights. There's several there that I want to try. And because even if you're not a beginner knitter, I think every time you try something new, like I feel like I'm a beginner sock knitter because I have only done 3 pairs, and it's been so spaced out that every time I go to knit a new one, I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Like for this, I dread the heel always because the heel is where I have to slow down and really pay attention. And you know, like when you've knit something again and again, and I've heard people are like, they don't have to even think of the pattern anymore because they just do like the fish lips kiss heel, which is, I do like that one, but I have to still again reference the pattern, and I've only done 1 heel and gusset. I still want to really try the afterthought heel. And then I know I've done a toe up. I feel like I have, but I can't remember what one it was. So I want to try toe up again. If I haven't done it and I'm just streaming that, then I want to try toe up. And afterthought's really curious to me because I like the thought of just being able to like knit a tube and then come back in and pop it in there. Yeah. So anyways, this is my no thinking project right now. And that's all. So I feel like I have a fair amount to share, even though I feel like all I've been doing is sewing. All I've been doing is sewing. But I'm not even going to go into 2020. I'm not going to talk about it. Or 2021. I do like that. I don't care that it's a new year. I love a new month. Because I always feel like, okay, this month. Like for my goal for this month is just to write out stuff on my calendar and try to set a schedule. Because I'm not very good at schedules. Because I'm work from home, a stay-at-home mom. And now because of Corona, we don't go anywhere and do anything. So there's nothing I have to like write on a calendar. Like our only thing is we do school Monday through Friday, homeschool. But that's it. So that's my goal. It's just to day at a time, write out my schedule and try to, because there's a few things I want to like be better about being regular in. And I know a schedule will help me to do that. So that's it. I don't have anything else. I don't have any like dream knitting to talk about because I'm just knitting what I can. I'm sorry it's been so long between podcasts. I am going to try. I thought about this while I was setting up. I am going to try to this year to podcast monthly. So it's January 1st. I'm not going to say like it's going to be February 1st, but somewhere around then. And that even if I don't have that much to show, like just come on here and talk and be seen, connect. We'll see. All right. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.